I'm Miranda Valentine, editor of the lifestyle blog Everything Sounds Better in French, and today I'm going to show you how to make heart-shaped French toast perfect for Valentine's Day. So the first thing that we're going to need is 6 slices of bread, and I have whole wheat bread here. It's important that you use a bread that isn't too moist. It's actually best if it's a little bit dry because we really want it to soak up the egg mixture. So this one isn't too moist and it's a little bit dry. I've been letting it sort of just sit out. So we're going to start with our bread, which we will cut into heart shapes, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. For the mixture that we're going to dip it in, we have 2 eggs beaten, 1/4 cup of milk, a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then 2 tablespoons of butter. This is what we're going to cook it all in. I'm going to put all these ingredients together, whip it up, and then we will dip our heart-shaped bread in there. But before we start, we need to make our bread heart-shaped. So this is how we're going to do it, and this is the final finished product. You can use a cookie cutter, certainly if you have one, if you have a heart-shaped cookie cutter. If you don't worry about going out and buying one. Just get your piece of bread, and you're going to start here at the middle and just cut this corner off on a diagonal, so that way, and then just do it again over here. And then, so then you have your little triangle. And what I've been using, I have a pizza cutter. If you don't, you could just use a regular knife, but I find that this gives me like some good, fun, creative license. So just start over here, like, and you can either, if you don't want the crust, you can just go all the way around, circle in and down, just do like a little triangle cut, and then just keep going. Or if you're a person who really likes your crusts, so that's what that would look like, crust-free. Or if you like your crusts, you can do it this way. And how you do that is just do the same. You're going to slice, slice. So all you'll do is just do a little triangle-shaped incision here and leave the crusts on. So just one little, and there you go. So 2 options, however you'd like to do it. I'm going to do that with all 6 here. Okay, so we have our 6 pieces of heart-shaped bread. So we are good with this. We're just gonna set this to the side, and we're gonna move on to our actual mixture. So again, I have 2 eggs that have already been beaten here, and I am going to add them to this glass bowl. You wanna make sure that you use a bowl that's large enough to dip your bread in. If you're using just a regular, piece of bread, you need it to be larger. You wanna be able to fully dunk and lay the bread flat, so just make sure you have a large enough and shallow enough bowl to do so. So I'm just going to put in these 2 eggs that have been beaten, 1/4 cup of milk, a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, which gives it a nice sweet flavor. And then I'm going to do a few shakes of cinnamon. I really like to have cinnamon in my French toast. I think it's tasty. So we're just gonna do a few, just like a little shake. And that's really just to taste similar, to like salt and pepper in a recipe. So let's just mix this together. So this is all whisked together now. You can see that it's just all nicely mixed. Just set this whisk to the side. And then we are going to head over to the skillet, which has been warming on like medium heat. And we are gonna put our butter in and let that melt up and get all ready to introduce our French toast. So we're gonna head over there. And I'm just gonna drop this in. And just move it around and make sure that the entire pan is perfectly coated. Perfect. Now, it's perfectly coated and I still have some left. So I'm going to pull this out because I'm gonna do multiple batches. And the first batch obviously will soak up all that butter, so we're just gonna reserve this to the side. So now the fun part, we are going to bring our mixture and our bread over to the stove. And we're gonna create a little assembly line. So we're gonna take a piece of heart-shaped bread. We are gonna dip it like this, Maybe do it 1 or 2. If you're using wheat bread, maybe flip it over like at least 2 times on each side because you really want to make sure it soaks up. It's not as dry as white bread. Just shake it to make sure any little excess drips come off, and you're just going to place it in your pan. So onto my next one, and I think I'm gonna be able to fit about 3 pieces in the skillet at a time. So I'm just gonna let this drip off, let any excess come off, but this is soaking up nicely. Oh, do you hear that? That's the good sound. That's what you want to hear. You want to hear that nice sizzle. Okay, and let's do our last piece. Place that one in there. Okay, so you have your remaining half of the mixture and your remaining half of the bread, and you can just put those to the side and continue and do the same thing. So we're just gonna check on these. Just lift and peek. Oh, it's already starting to get a little golden brown. We love to see that. Just inch, inch, inch. Beautiful. Ooh, this one looks gorgeous. This one is heating a little faster than the others, just based on where my pan is placed on the flame. So I'm just gonna flip this one, and you can see if it starts to get that nice goldeny brown color, that's when you know that it's good and that it's cooking. And you definitely don't want to flip it before that point because then the egg isn't cooked. And definitely your middle part might be soggy, and there's nothing worse than like soggy French toast. Nobody wants that. Okay, so just perfect, check that, and flip. So they smell delicious. The top part is nice and browned. I can tell it's cooking all the way through. We're just gonna peek underneath and make sure the other side is equally cooked through, and kind of press in the middle to make sure it's not too soft and there's nothing soggy in the middle. And if everything looks good, we're gonna put it on our plate and put the last batch in, and then we'll be ready to enjoy our French toast, our heart-shaped French toast. And it looks nice and brown. Well, this piece is definitely done. You can see like how perfect and brown it is. So we know that's good. This one also nice and brown. And this guy looks like it absorbed a little bit more of the mixture than the others, so we're just gonna give it a little bit more time on here, but I'm gonna put my remaining pieces surrounding it on the skillet. And I'm also gonna do a little bit more of my butter. Okay. So dunk. And shake. Dunk. Dunk. Shake. And dunk. And dunk. And shake and let it all drip out. Here we go. So we're just gonna let that cook, flip it, I'll do the same thing we did with the other side, and then we'll come back when it's ready to plate and serve. And so now we're finished. Our 6 pieces of heart-shaped French toast are all cooked, smelling delicious. I cannot wait to eat them. We just have 2 final steps. I love to garnish with a little bit of fresh fruit. What's more romantic than strawberries, or delicious than strawberries on French toast. So you can just add some strawberries in however you like. And then I also think that maple syrup is really the way to go. And if you can do 100% maple syrup, like from Vermont, then you know, you're just gonna like send this dish over the moon. So here we go, garnishing with our little strawberries. And so now we're just gonna drizzle a little bit of maple syrup on top, and we're ready to enjoy. And that's how you make heart-shaped French toast for Valentine's Day. Enjoy. Thanks for watching. Wishing you a very happy Valentine's Day from the entire Mahalo team. And if you're looking to spruce up your Valentine's Day in some other areas, be sure to check out our special baking and craft videos. See you next time.